Can just cleaning the pins really fix 20 Nintendo 64 games? That's what we're going to test today. Let's see what we learn. So we're going to go in order, cheapest to most expensive, and what I'm going to do on all of these is I'm just going to start by cleaning the pins, and then I'm also going to clean the shell a little bit on each of them. Once I've done that on all of them, I'm going to go ahead and test and see where we're at for functionality. Most of these are like $5 games. The most expensive that we have, I think, comes around 20. I also don't like to put too much stock in what price charting says because price charting doesn't account for condition, just status. Most of these all have the same fault, they just don't read. Some of them have some interesting faults though. Like we have a couple that go to black screen. Oh yeah, these pins are very dirty. Everything else is really clean though. I probably don't need to point it out, but you can see right there's some gunk there, all these black specks. This is all gunk that's got to go. So these are supposed to be just gold in color. We shouldn't see any silver. So I'm going to use IPA and deoxit for all of this, I think. Maybe we move on to some abrasives as well. I'm just going to start with a cotton swab. Yeah, I think this one's going to be successful. So at the very least, I'll have saved the cheapest game, I think. Alright, so after just one cotton swab past the IPA, that's where we're at. I don't think the toothbrush did much there. I gotta be honest, I was thinking filming this was the way to go because live streaming terrifies me, but I am starting to realize this is really boring. It's gonna be most of what I'm gonna do for a very long time. Okay, well, I think this is where I'm gonna stop on this side. It's pretty dang good. I just can't get that to come up. It's a big improvement. So now we can go ahead and tackle over here, which I guess since I have the toothbrush. Would a light abrasive be so bad? I'm thinking a light abrasive wouldn't be so terrible. That's so much water. Okay, Matthew. It's just not called for. I am seriously using like no pressure. I'm just resting it and swiping it side to side. I'm so terrified of this. So far, I feel like it's done nothing. It's seeming like it's doing nothing is probably what you want, right? Because that means that it's only removing tiny, tiny amounts of things. I'm gonna be honest, I thought this was gonna happen so much faster. I am actually shocked that that is the speed that we're going at here. I mean, we're keeping the gold everywhere, so like that's probably good. So when we come back to this side and look, it doesn't look anywhere near as clean as this dude does. I do feel like it would be wise of me to go ahead and hit this with that magic eraser just a little bit. Okay, so this is what we have now. So this is the back side, and here's front. Yeah, I think it's quite a bit better. I don't think I'd feel awful about that. I think I could ship that. Yeah. These are crocodile wipes is what they're called. I'll leave a link, but I use these anytime I'm working on either brittle plastics or plastics where I don't want IPA to get on them. So in this case, I don't want IPA to damage any labels. So this thing is perfect for that. Safe for basically everything that I've checked so far. You should do your own due diligence. Maybe don't do exactly what I'm doing right now, but yeah, that'll work. I'm tempted to hit the label with this, but since I don't know how that would do, I'm gonna hold off until I have something where the label's basically destroyed anyways, and then I'll do that. Because I have quite a few games where there's really not... Well, some don't even have labels. So there's plenty that have rough labels in this stack. This stuff actually does really well. You know what? I'm just gonna test on this one. It's the cheapest game, man. Okay, and then as it dries, yeah, we're fine. I think this is okay for me to use on the labels. Not for you guys. You guys go do whatever anyone else says to do. All right, so I've got this gunk right here, and then that gunk might be ink, is it? Nope. All right. So most of this has come right up, but some of it doesn't really want to. I'll show you guys how it did real quick, but this stuff does not really feel it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this into my spudger, and then I'm gonna fold this over a few times to get myself a little bit of a thicker bit, and then just tuck my spudger into that thick bit. It's done pretty well. I think you would be reasonable to stop here, but I like to learn new things, and one of those things that I'm gonna have to learn today is how far can I go on cleaning these labels without damaging them? Or is this just a safe approach all the way around? So that means I'm gonna try to get all of this. I think maybe just a bit more elbow grease and then wiping it off like this finishes it. Oh, but I also did just a little bit of damage to the side there. All right, I think that is where we have to stop, unless I want to do too much damage here. Which it no longer is tacky. I don't know why I said it's no longer tacky, it's still tacky. And my spudger itself would just damage this at the same time, right? Yep, yes it would. That was a dumb idea, Matthew. So don't do that. Well, there's the first of several. Let's move on to the next one. So this is the next cheapest. This one is one of the two that gets a black screen. It's also one of the few that has the Blockbuster sticker on it. Somebody's already been inside of it, so I don't need to be the bad guy that risks any damage here. I don't think I can remove this Blockbuster sticker without destroying this label on the back. So we're gonna leave that be. But the fact that somebody's already been inside of this and it's got this black screen thing going on, I imagine this one's gonna be some significant damage. That, or this is one of the few SRAM chips, and the battery died, and the SRAM corrupted. That could also be a thing. Okay, again, pretty dang good. Okay, so no battery. I do see that mess right there. These pins look really good. This one terrifies me. I'll come back to that. Let's just make sure. I don't know what this is. I'm gonna vacuum it. So, this thing is really clean. And I'm getting a black screen. Are these pink things, are these caps or resistors? I think they're caps because they're labeled C2, C3. So we have C1, 2, 3. 4 is not present. C4 plus. There's nothing populating that. I don't remember if the other one was like that. Well, I mean, the pins are so clean, like, what am I even worried about? That second one right there? I mean, the other side's a little bit dirtier, but... Oh, well, we're done on this side. That came off. All right, well, there you go. Probably going to be the best looking pins we're going to see today. I mean, these are dirtier. So, like, maybe these pins are just bad enough? So this, I mean, just that wiping did a lot for us. But right here, that pin still has some stuff on it. No? He's a little stubborn. Okay, I mean, that's, again, probably just the cleanest pins we're going to see today. You know, if I get the angle just right for me, I can actually see, oh, there it is for you guys. Quite a bit of dirt still on there. So maybe I will just hit it with the magic eraser for a moment, just to be sure. Because the other one that we worked on had an unmistakable shine by the time we were done. Yeah, that needed that. I mean, it's really hard to get you guys the right angle, but... There we go, that's about as good as I'm gonna get. There's still quite a bit of mess on it. So yeah, there's just a bit left right there that doesn't really want to come off. But I don't think that's gonna stop us from reading. Try to get you guys the best angles I can. That label won't need very much at all to get clean. I do find it interesting that this is the color of the gunk I keep getting. Toxic Sludge Green. I'll just clean this a little bit. We'll use a fresh part of this, because that's pretty dirty. I'm happy enough with that. I'll have to look at before and afters to see if this ridging on the side is water damage from what I just did, because it might be. You know what? This is actually still pretty dirty. What happens if I do hit this just a little bit? Just like this much. I know there's gonna be a lot of people that are offended by the fact that I just did that. But guess what? I'll do it again. Yeah, I think it would be understandable if you decided to use a magic eraser. I don't know that that did anything, but I just don't think I can remove this without destroying the label underneath, so I think I'm not going to. If I find out later that's not the case, then I'll adjust accordingly. I mean, also, it's a bit of history, dude. It used to be Blockbuster. Oh yeah, this had some weird stuff going on. It sure looked like rust when I looked at it earlier. So I thought I was gonna get some like major rust on the pens, and then I didn't. And that was pretty upsetting. That was pretty upsetting because I thought for sure I'd be able to go, aha, and like point at the problem. That's not at all what happened. I mean, I think it's cleaner, I don't know. All right, now we have Madden 99. I have quite a few Madden games here. This one's got that little bit of label damage there. And then, actually I do have a back label. Again, this one's pretty clean. These can get really gnarly sometimes. That's fine. We'll clean that a little bit. That's fine. And that's also acceptable. Pens are not as bad as the first one, but definitely dirtier than the last one. Okay, here we go. I didn't get you guys a very good angle on the pens. There we are after one pass. It's fine. Not much is coming up on the Q-tip, so I think a lot of this is just damage to the pens, not dirt. I mean, I'll hit it with a magic eraser in a bit, but I don't know what I should really expect out of this. Here's the side that we're about to start on next. Yeah, I mean, that's probably just as good as that's going to get that way. So now we do this. And this is what we are left with on this one. I think it should read. I'm not super confident. There's some things I don't love. Like that bit right there. We'll see. I think it should read though. And now, let's clean this up just a little bit. I'm gonna be a little bit smarter and just start on the inside so that that has time to dry. This one has quite a bit of gunk. There's no need to clean this off, but like, I'm in here. It's dirty. I may as well. Let's see if I can't clean the label just a small amount. I mean, it's cleaning up actually really well. I didn't realize how much was on this and how much I'd be able to get off. I managed to catch this just a little bit, made it a small amount worse. That being said, I'm okay with it. And I'm actually fine with how the label looks now. I don't think I did any liquid damage to this one. I don't know about the other ones that I've worked on, but we'll set that aside. And now, clean the outside of this dude. Yeah, we're good with that. Need to clean this just a little bit. They'll write songs about me. The man who could reassemble a Nintendo 64 cartridge? Incredible. This one is good to go into the pile. Had a nice little break. Now ready for the next one. So this one still has the Blockbuster thing going all the way around it. So I am gonna have to be a little bit of a bad guy here. How do I want to cut into this? I mean, cutting into these is pretty straightforward, but cutting this is gonna be a bit sus, yeah? Let's start off with a spudger and see if I can just kind of like lift this up and not have to risk Goo Gone or IPA or something like that getting near a label. Okay, so that's not what I wanted. Like I could probably just slice right through here with a razor, but I don't want to damage the shell. I'll try it in frame. I just want to see if now that this is loosened up, if... Okay, so that cut was just fine. And now it should be a little bit easier for me to get in here. Yes. Okay, there we go. The question is, do I think this would destroy the label? I mean, I obviously do think that. Do I try it anyways? I don't know that it's even worth risking, is it? I'm gonna do this a bit different. I'm gonna go ahead and start by cleaning the plastic. And that way, it'll have time to dry. Now, before I even start, I want this to come off, I think. Off the front. Alrighty. Cool. Please don't make me go get IPA. Well, I mean, I'd probably use Goo Gone for this just to be extra certain, but yeah, I mean, I'm actually a little worried this is damaging the plastic underneath as I'm doing this. I definitely wouldn't feel good about doing this to a label. Man, the sticker is so brittle on this too. It's like, even if I get it going, I just don't think I'll be able to peel it off. I think I'm just gonna have to sit here and slowly chip. So this is gonna be several hours of work, I think. Yeah, I think I'm gonna need isopropyl alcohol. I'm gonna try something a little weird. I'm just gonna try some 70% on a on a wipe like this, right here on the edge. It's such a low proof that I might be able to get away with it. My hope is that the wipe is just enough control that I do all of that out of frame, I'm pretty sure. So the good news is it doesn't look like that alcohol damaged this shell any. The bad news, it didn't do anything else either. I mean, that's the most progress I've made this entire time, but that still took entirely too long. See, I'm pretty sure this is the easy part, and I'm about to come up on the hard part as I get closer to this bit. I think it's time to try to clean off some more of the residue, because my gloves keep sticking. Yeah, I think this is going to need isopropyl alcohol or Goo Gone or something. Which means if I'm going to have to use that stuff anyways, I might as well use it now to make my life easier. Okay, so I'll be using the Goo Gone that comes in a yellow bottle. Looks like that. I'm just going to take a cotton swab, apply it where it's needed. And you guys probably aren't going to get a good angle on this because I don't want to risk it flowing towards the label. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Why do I always fight using it? I've been working on this for 40 minutes. So now the question is, with the Goo Gone applied, does this just want to come right off? Seriously, you have to be so careful of the labels here. Yep, it does want to come right off. Like, it might even be worth me putting something over the label while I do this. Okay, so there's no Goo Gone right there. So there's no sense in trying to fight that. Let's wipe this off. This way I can get a sense of how everything looks, so I know where I need to put the Goo Gone. Now we just use more Goo Gone. So this time I'm going to do it a little bit different. I'm just going to focus in on the edges. And then once I've saturated the edges, now I'll work my way out to get the goop. Did we get it? Oh, we got it. Okay. We did not get it. Final Goo Gone hit over here. I hope. Take our time just to make sure that everything is completely cleaned off. Because if it's not, and the Goo Gone finds me later, I'm not going to be happy. That's exactly what I'm talking about right there. See? That would have been pretty upsetting for me. Okay, so there you have it. It can be done. Is it worth it? Probably not. Did I learn anything? About myself, maybe. Nothing the doctors haven't been saying for years, though. I would recommend you don't even try this, but if you're going to, only do one side. That's my opinion on the whole thing. Because holy cow, that took an hour and 10 minutes. So here's what I'm going to do different on the second one. I'm not going to film it. I'm going to go ahead and start with the Goo Gone and just kind of go around the edges of it and slowly push, and I think it'll go faster that way. This is what we ended up with. Would not do it again. Now we can actually try to do the thing that we came here for. And the pins on this are a little scuffed on this side, a bit more dirty on this side. These I would expect to actually clean up okay on the other side. I would expect that cleaning the pins probably does fix this one. Some of them I'm not sure, like the one that goes to black screen, I don't know that the pins are an issue. Not great. I got the dirt off, but the marks from the pins are still there. So I'm thinking we'll probably need the magic eraser to do most of the heavy lifting. Yeah, I had a feeling this side is much dirtier. I'm assuming that the Nintendo 64 needs to read data on both sides. I'm not sure, but that would make a lot of sense. If that is the case, and just one side being dirty is enough, then I would assume the other side could be red, but this one could not. There we go. That's the angle we wanted. Now we'll see how the magic eraser does. That's so much water. That's too much water. You know, that one scratch right there is pretty gnarly. Did that stop the whole game from working? I suppose it could, couldn't it? It should be fine, because the pins are on the console are built to hit either side of that, I think. I think that's good enough to boot. I would say I am pretty dang okay with that result. Guess we'll find out if it reads later. Ah, I'm really excited. So this one has some of the worst pens that I've seen. And also its shell is disgusting. So we may have some fun with this guy. When I think of dirty pens, a lot of what we've seen so far is not what comes to mind for me. This is stuck, oh my gosh. But yeah, when I think of dirty pens, I'm not thinking of most of the things that we've worked on so far. I'm thinking of a cartridge like this one. We don't have a lot of these, but there are some. So the front side. And then the back side. Why does the camera never do it justice? Really? This thing is covered in dirt. I mean, it's dull. Like, that should tell you all you need to know. Oh, it looks like some of the gold has also been rubbed off on this side. So far, all of these caps in the middle have looked good. Been watching. So I'm gonna do the shell again first. Man, this shell's actually really nasty. My bad. I should spend more time showing you guys the condition if I'm just gonna go ham on it right away. My bad. I mean, it's nasty. Okay. Now we're just gonna take our time cleaning this up. And if I need to, I'll put a little something something on it. Pretty happy with this. Especially considering what we started with. Now this over here, on the other hand, I'm not stoked about. All right, well, that's gonna do on this side. No, it's not. What is this? Okay, now that'll do on this side. All right, so on the back here, we've got a little bit of goo. I love goo. That's about it. I mean, it's just generally dirty, but. Cool, happy with that. Now, this is the side that I think will be pretty straightforward, maybe? I don't know. Let's just see what happens. Definitely the dirtiest Q-tip we've had so far. I'd say it's a pretty significant improvement. Okay, so this thing's a whole lot dirtier than I thought. All right, well, the magic eraser will fix that. Let's just deal with this side. Yeah, forget the previous record. This thing is This thing is so filthy. Somehow my puppy managed to get out of her kennel, which has now happened twice. One time it happened in the middle of the night. And we just assumed that my wife forgot to close, or forgot to latch the kennel. But I can tell you for a fact that kennel was latched just now. So that's cool. Also, she's in heat right now, so what a perfect time for her to figure out how to get herself out of the kennel, right? So this was our dirty side. Maybe a bit more, actually. Yeah, I would say we got it that time. I think that's... yeah, I think it's good. It's not as good as I would like, but I'm not willing to ruin the device in order to make it a little bit prettier. All right. Well, I'm gonna take another break because I don't want my puppy to be out alone because she's a little heathen that doesn't know how to leave my cats alone. Up next, we've got Triple Play 2000. Outside of the cartridge is pretty okay. I mean, it's dirty, but... oh. I don't know why my cat has decided to start screaming the moment I start filming, but it's really cool of him. Nothing crazy there. Yep, that looks like metal. And the condition of the pins. Fine. Yeah, I would say the pins are okay. I mean, it's in this pile for a reason, but it's okay. This cleaner may not be enough on this one. I mean, I don't know how clean I really need this to be, but... I think I'm happy with that. Happy enough, at least. Okay, so now we're going to try something that I don't feel great about. I'm sure some of you already know what I'm about to do. Oh, it feels so stupid. But look, the name of the game is science. Okay. Don't use that much force. Okay, now we just clean up the residue without letting any of the goo gone touch an edge. Okay, I'm very happy with how that went. Let's see how it looks once it's cleaned up. And that is our finished product. I am plenty happy with that. Yeah, these have already had quite a bit of the gold worn off. I don't know if the camera's picking that up well. This one is maybe seen better days. These pens really didn't clean up much. So we might need some deoxit. I think it'll load. That is how I feel about all of these though, so who really knows? Not me. Well, Triple Play 2000 is ready to go in the pile. Well, now we have Mayhem, which I don't think is going to be worth nearly as much because the label do be labeling. So maybe putting it this far back wasn't where it's supposed to go, but... Oh, it's a little stuck. There we go. Oh, it's because the shell's a little broken. It's also very dirty. Yeah, these tabs are broken. Right here. In here. Oh, there's one of the tabs. I mean, is there any reason to even work on this? I mean, I guess maybe I can try to get some of the paint off. Is that paint? That's paint. I'm gonna leave the paint on there, guys. I'm not worried about the label on this. I mean, I guess I can hit this a little bit, but my expectations of this label are not very high. Yeah, it's already been damaged. If I keep this up, I'm just going to damage it more. So our pens have lost quite a bit of gold on this one. And our cap is blue. This whole board is gross on this one, actually. So maybe we do a slightly more detailed clean. See how those pins look now that it's cleaned a little bit? Yeah, that's lost a lot of the gold. So I'm still going to hit it with the magic eraser, but that's just going to keep oxidizing over and over. The reason that they use gold for the pins is because gold doesn't oxidize. Why have I not explained this yet? Over time, as these cartridges go in and out of the consoles, the gold's going to wear off. When it does, you're left with something that can oxidize. So that's why the abrasive options on cleaning these pins aren't great, because you just don't want to rub enough of the gold off to be left with the silver. In this case, either this game got so much use it happened, or somebody's already come in with something abrasive and done that to them. All right, well, I mean, you guys can already see how much silver is showing there, but that's what we're left with before the magic eraser. I mean, it's just gonna have to do. Yeah, it's fine. I ended up finishing the rest of these over a couple of live streams. If you're one of the unfortunate souls that witnessed the stream failures while I sorted it out, you're welcome. Sometimes learning hurts, and it's best to share your pain with others. Anyways, that was a whole month ago. A lot of you have been wondering where I've been, so I'll now address that through song. Just kidding. Could you imagine? I haven't touched my ukulele in years. What actually happened is I complained about my video editor's terrible timing with cuts right after the doctors told me that with that out of the way, let's see how he did. I tested all 20 games again now that they've been cleaned, and I was very pleasantly surprised to see that 16 out of the 20 got sorted just by cleaning them. Some of these are absolute bangers, so that's a huge win. Rugrats Scavenger Hunt is S tier for sure. Star Wars Racer is a favorite game of mine when I was a kid, so that's a big win for me personally. 4 of those games still came out faulty. 2 of them need batteries, and 2 were still not reading. We also have another 4 that have significant label damage, so it's not like that I survived without any casualties. Which, if anyone has recommendations on sourcing high-quality replacement labels, that'd be pretty cash money. I'll be revisiting the Trouble Children in another video, so they're not getting off the hook quite yet. Also, if correcting forms is your kind of special interest, the Country Club game, YLA Country Club, is not listed as having a battery on the console mods wiki, but it has one, so that's another thing that I learned here. Finally, I figured I could share the actual cash figures for once, since a lot of people like to learn about electronics restoration for profit. My TISM made me put it in a spreadsheet, so let's dig in. In total, I paid $83.60 for all 20 faulty games from a number of different sources. They ranged from about $4 in value up to $20, with the total potential value for the lot coming out to $207.08 if everything worked out and was in decent condition. Meaning I could potentially flip everything for up to $123.48 in profit if we pretend taxes, fees, and condition adjustments don't exist. Given that 4 games are still faulty, that drops the potential profit down to $80.37. If we assume that the damaged and missing labels cut the value in half, that comes out to about $60 in potential profit. In total, I spent 8 hours working on these, so assuming the IRS and eBay decided I could just keep my money, I'd make a whopping $7.50 an hour. Looks like I just got a massive raise. Well, that'll do it for this one. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and consider subscribing if you'd like to see more content just like this. I will see you guys in the next video. Also, thanks to everyone who checked in on me. I'm alive, and I'm going to keep bringing you more overcomplicated repairs shortly.